Hi there, I think you're going to like this video because I'm going to show you how to add spell checking capabilities to your Windows Forms application using the spell checker component available in NetAdvantage Windows Forms. So let's set up a little UI here. So I got this form and there's nothing on it. So let's start off by adding a button first. Let's change the text on there to spell check. So we'll do that, and then the next thing that I'm going to do is let's locate a text box control, and we'll use the Infragistics one. We'll use like the basic Infragistics Ultra Text Editor, which is right here. Double click on that, throw it onto the form, and what I want to do is I want to first of all blow away the text at the text property to clear it out, and we want to set the multi-line to true. So let's do that as well. And one thing that I did earlier was added a text file. So what I did is I right-clicked in my project and I added a new item, and I selected text file in the general items. And now this is just a plain old text file that when I click when I set its copy to output directory property, I set it to copy always. So this is going to be used for a custom dictionary, and if we just take a look at it for now, I just put one correct word per line. So you can make a dictionary by just creating a text file and putting one correct word per line. That's what I did in this case. Alright, so back to the UI. We're still building out the UI. I want to show you how this is done. So multi-line is set to true. Let's also let's go and set the scroll bars here too. I don't think I'm gonna you know what, I'm not gonna type that much text in here. Alright, so now just a plain old text box and a button on here isn't going to help us with spell checking, so we need to find the UltraSpellChecker component. So let's go find that one. Right here, double click on it, add it to the form, and to get started, a couple of things have to happen. We could set the spell checker property on the Infragistics text editor controls as well as columns of WinGrid, so you could do that to WinGrid as well, so that's how flexible this is. So scroll down on the text editor properties and look for spell checker. When I click on the drop down, it recognizes the spell checker that I threw on the form right here on the component area, and it's now hooked up. And we could also click on the properties of the spell checker component directly, and I could set it up with the user dictionary so I could navigate to it, or to make things easier, I know this is getting dumped in the same folder as the executable, so let's just put that in there. Just try to use a relative path if possible without having a hard-coded, direct full-blown path to like C:\/ my dictionary. You don't want to do that. Try to like deploy this with your app if possible. That way it's like a local file. Alright, so we set that up, and then there's different type of underlining styling, like you could do none or single line or double line or a squiggle. Squiggle is the default, but you could do double line or single line or none. That way people won't know what's spelled incorrectly, which is not a good idea, but it's there if you want it. Okay, so we do that, and let's add some event handling code here. So the other thing that you can do is fire up a dialog. So let's just do this. We're going to call the spell check method off the component. Actually, show spell check dialog is more like it, and then you want to pass in the name of the control, or you want to pass in the reference to the control that you want to spell check. That would be the Ultra Text Editor too. Alrighty, let's see what we have here. I have my text box, I have my spell check button ready to go, so let's start typing. Okay, there's my awesome sentence. Ready? Notice these squiggles are being shown on my incorrectly spelled words. Notice how it doesn't recognize WinGrid and Infragistics and XAML, so let's do some spell checking and see how it all works out. So I click on that, I get this dialog, and okay, I'm going to hook this up with, I'm going to change that one, and let me see, did I put WinGrid in? I think I put WinGrid in that text file. But let me just change it to WinGrid. Okay. Gonna ignore that one. Okay, so Infragistics, it found Infragistics. I don't think I put WinGrid in there. And let's just change this one to XAML. It didn't recognize that one. But that's basically how it all works. So let's just double check. I could have sworn I put WinGrid in there. Okay, Ultra WinGrid. Okay, I made a mistake. But if I would have typed in a misspelled version close enough to Ultra WinGrid, it would have picked that one up. So that's basically what it takes to add spell checking capabilities. And you know, it's pretty easy. So you go Ultra WinGrid. I'm going to change it to that. So you have this component in your toolbox, so I recommend that you use it because there are a lot of areas in your apps where people type free-form text and you want to be able to spell check it. It's an extra layer of, you know, cleaning before the data is actually saved into your system, and it's that easy.
Infragistics. On the web at infragistics.com.